Hi, let me start this video with a question. How often do you feel tired? And have you noticed that so many people complain about a lack of energy even after a long weekend? I, too, have encountered a similar problem, which made me look deeply into this issue and find an explanation for what is happening, and most importantly, discover simple solutions, which I will introduce you in this video. Scientists claim that our ancestors were much more energetic than modern man and needed much less time to rest. How is this possible? A long time ago, people got very tired of physical labor. They spent a lot of time in the fields, and their sense of fatigue was due to physical exertion. To rest, all they had to do was spend a day without physical effort, and they felt renewed again. Later, as society moved into the stage of industrialization, more and more people began to work with their minds. Hence, a new kind of fatigue emerged: mental fatigue. To rest, a person simply put aside his work for a while, and after a while, replenished with energy, went to work again. People were tired, but they did not suffer from chronic fatigue and a constant lack of energy. They knew where fatigue came from and how to replenish their energy. But what does modern man do? What is our mistake? We have distorted the idea of rest and thus deprived ourselves of the opportunity to quickly replenish ourselves with energy. Let's take two examples. John works in an office 40 hours a week. His day is filled with paperwork. He spends his evenings watching detective shows, and on the weekends he prefers to go to the movies with his spouse to see a new movie and watch talk shows at home in the evening. Daniel is 14 years old and still in school. As a rest, the boy plays computer games every day. On weekdays, he plays for a couple of hours, and on weekends, he spends 10 hours at the computer. But they both feel very tired. Even after the weekend, they have no energy. Why does this happen? Modern man has replaced the idea of rest. We decided that positive emotions is the same as a full recovery. So the heroes of our example, instead of taking a break from mental activity, put even more strain on themselves. After all, watching movies or playing computer games also makes our brains work. As a result, the brain performs constant strenuous activity both at work and at rest. This pastime takes even more energy on our days of rest, adding to a person's sense of fatigue. Advertising and society have imposed on us the opinion that the computer, social networks, movies, and socializing with friends is a good types of rest. But believe me, it's not like that at all. These activities give us an emotional rush, a release of dopamine. But they don't give us energy. They just take it away, taking away our positive emotions as well. How do you get rid of the constant feeling of fatigue? First advice is pay attention to sleep. Sleep is an irreplaceable source of energy. We have distorted the importance of the sleep process, and this is a major mistake. Scientists have proved that the lack of sleep affects our physical health, as well as reduces performance and concentration. A sleep-deprived person not only has less energy, but also perceives the world around them more negatively. Lack of sleep is guaranteed to lead to a constant feeling of fatigue. But how do you get enough sleep? Do you just need 8 hours of sleep? No. The best regime of the day for a person corresponds to certain daily rhythms. This is a very large and important topic. We will deal with it separately in the future, so be sure to subscribe to the channel. For now, we will briefly say that a person should go to bed before 10 p.m., and 2 hours before going to sleep, we should take away all gadgets so that melatonin can be actively produced. And humans should get up no later than 6 o'clock in the morning. This is the ideal precept. Naturally, because of work or family matters, you may not be able to fulfill this instruction in the best possible format, but you should definitely try to fall asleep before 12 and put away your phone at least an hour before bedtime. According to statistics, more than 60% of all people on Earth look at their smartphone 10 minutes before going to bed. And most of these people are dissatisfied with their quality of sleep, which inevitably affects the level of fatigue. The second tip is movement. Movement is energy. But think about whether you move that much every day. Sitting at work, in cars, at home. And so it is every day. Most people suffer from an activity deficit and don't realize that it still makes them more tired. The misconception that our tricky brain has imposed on us is, the less I exert myself physically, the more energy I have. That's not true. Scientists have proven that regular physical activity increases our internal sense of energy, boosts our mood, and is fruitful for our physical health. And one study showed that 15 minutes of morning exercise for 3 months helped 85% of people get rid of the feeling of constant fatigue. The paradox is that the more energy we spend on exercise, the more we get back during the day. So replace the activity, rest properly. If you work in an office, walk a couple of kilometers after work. Add regular exercise, let jogging replace watching TV. The third tip is completely unpopular, but very important. The prominent people of today, as well as the geniuses of the past, spend a lot of time alone. Why? Not only does one concentrate better at work, but one rests better in solitude. Silence and internal dialogue, freedom from noise and daily activities are guaranteed to fill you with energy. It is proven that 2 hours a week in silence alone with yourself makes a person happier and calmer. Such a rest is extremely beneficial for everyone. Take a weekly walk alone. Explain to the family the importance of this action for you. Go alone without wife, friends, or children. Go to the park, wood, or other quiet place. Don't take your phone with you. Just walk around, give your brain a well-deserved reset. I assure you that everyone upon returning home, after 3 hours walking alone, will feel an incredible renewal. The brain will be clean and rested. The final fourth point is understanding why you need energy and distributing it intelligently. There is an opinion that man is given from God as much energy as he needs to achieve his good purposes and is taken away if he spends it improperly. You may be skeptical of this, but just try to believe it. I have studied it myself. The more time you spend on useless and destructive things, the less life energy you have. Yes, if you are a party goer, your vitality will drop. And the more of your precious energy will go to unnecessary things, the less energy you will have over time. This also applies to the flip side. The more you engage in spiritual, intellectual, or physical development, the more you energy. And of course, big positive goals and desire to help people will give you a huge boost of energy. So be sure to pick yourself an incentive to move and try to help people. Of course, it was also possible to discuss nutrition, relationships, work, the environment, and many other factors that also have a very strong influence on our level of fatigue. But we are not going to do that. I really recommend that you take the time to do the 4 things in this video. If you work through each of them, you'll get rid of the constant feeling of fatigue and you'll have an incredible sense of energy. Just do it. Thank you for watching. I hope the video was helpful and you found something interesting. Please like it, share this video with your friends, and be sure to watch other content on our channel.